do uncomfortable shit. This is embarrassing because I always try to tell myself that I am a clean person and that I don't let my space get like this. But then like over the course of like 2 days, it just seems like sometimes a bomb goes off. But it's no big deal. We'll get it cleaned up in a second. Yeah, this looks 1,000 times better already. I'm just gonna set the camera down real fast. So I kind of woke up today and I had this urge to do something that would be very uncomfortable. And I hatched the idea in my head. It would be jumping into some very cold water because I live on a pond and it's available to me pretty close. So it sounded like something that would be a good idea on paper. And right after I had the idea, I was like, you know what, I don't want to do it. But I already decided in my head that I would, so now I gotta actually make this video and follow forward with it. So if you're living a life and you're extremely comfortable and you're not putting yourself in situations that are going to enable you to grow or allow for tough times, then when the real tough times do come that you're not putting yourself in, that just come randomly with life, you're gonna probably fall on your face pretty hard. So I think it's important that we all just, any chance we get, if we find ourselves being too comfortable, just notice that and then put yourself in an uncomfortable position. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but something I've been kind of realizing that it's been working for me a lot because, I started with the cold shower and then now for some reason I feel like jumping in a lake in December. So I don't know. It's kind of like a snowball effect almost. And it's pretty cold, so we're going to be jumping in some water just to kind of give ourselves that experience, kind of that shock, because I feel like over the past few days, it was Thanksgiving, I was just hanging out with people and I was drinking a little bit, so I got pretty comfortable and wasn't doing too much, I think I kind of owe it to myself to really put myself in a weird position here, so that's my plan today. And the thing about this that sucks is that I'm not the type of person who wakes up at 5 a.m. every day and then goes and jumps in the lake or does a cold plunge or anything extreme like that. Like I'm a normal person, okay? I don't do stuff like this all the time. Like I'll do cold showers occasionally, but like I don't jump in cold water and do stuff like that. So, and like it's just one of those days where like, those days where like you're just not in the mood to do anything, especially something that benefits you, because you'd rather just hang out or just sit in your room doing nothing and not actually get up and do something that's a new experience. Today's one of those days, but that means it's all the more reason to just do it, to actually go out and shock your body and have a new experience, because if you don't do that, then when will you? You're not just going to randomly start one day. I think that's a big problem with how I used to think, was I can be immature, I can do all these things hurting myself because later on I'll figure it out, and there's going to be a certain point where I just become a responsible adult. But the more I actually become an adult and get older, the more I realize that you really need to be proactive and make the changes yourself, because it doesn't just, your brain develops after 25 and it's fully developed, but that doesn't mean you're a responsible working adult who is building a good life for yourself, like it still can mean you're an immature child, you know what I mean? So there's not a set point where you're good, you don't just achieve adulting at a certain age, because a lot of the adults I see, they don't even have it together. So it's kind of a wake-up call for me that I really need to get my shit together if I want to have the life that I want, because no one's coming to save me, and stuff like this, nothing's going to fall on my lap, and nothing's going to fall on your lap either. So, if you're sitting around today and you feel like doing nothing, or you're not doing anything today, just go out and do something, man. Uncomfortable is different for everybody. All right, like if you do something that's uncomfortable to you
and somebody else looks at you doing it and tells you that that's normal and it's not uncomfortable, then they're wrong, because it's completely different for everybody. Think about those people who like crawl through the caves, you know what I'm talking about? Like the people that get stuck, and we all watch those videos because they freak us out. If one of us showed up in that cave and we were in a tight space and we got stuck, we would freak out and we'd be so uncomfortable. It'd be the worst thing ever. But to those guys, they like it and they eat that for breakfast, and that's not what makes them uncomfortable. But if you took one of those cave dudes, put him on a jiu-jitsu mat and got his head slammed in the mat and got him tossed around, he would probably be very uncomfortable. And you put the jiu-jitsu guy in the cave, the jiu-jitsu guy would be very uncomfortable. So it's different for everybody. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. There's no cookie-cutter solution for this. So, don't let anybody tell you that what your idea of uncomfortable is actually, it's not. It's not uncomfortable, because if you do something and you get that tingly feeling and you're like, I don't want to do this, you're doing something right. So that's what we're going to go do. I'm really not looking forward to doing this shit either, bro. All right, so we're leaving, and it was actually the first snowfall yesterday, as you can see from the snow. And I would take the little off-road vehicle to the spot, but the trail is actually so tight that we can't make it through. So we're just gonna walk. To actually look at that water, though, it just does not look inviting in the slightest. This right here is when it really starts to feel real, because I'm already committed enough where I'm halfway there, and I got the backpack on, and I've made so much of this video where I really can't go back, and I wish I could, because my toes are freezing already and I'm just walking. So I can't wait to see what it feels like when they're actually, in the water. But, it's one of those things that life gets tough. You always get through it. Yeah, and there's a quote I really like, and I forget who said it and how it goes exactly, so I'm just going to paraphrase it. But it says, I'm 500-0 against bad days, which means you can have as many bad days as possible, but you still always get through them. So that's kind of the mindset I have right now, because although I know it's going to suck getting in the water and it's going to be freezing, I'm going to get through it. And in about half an hour, I'm going to be sitting in my room warm with new clothes on, and everything's going to be fine. So, think about that when you're going to the gym and you don't want to go, or you're doing some work that you don't want to do. Just think about, once I get this done, an hour or two later, I'm just going to be hanging out and everything's going to be fine. So I'm going to go right in line with the sun, I'm thinking. Nature is so beautiful. It's calling my name. Oh, it's cold already. It's cold already. Oh, this fucking sucks. Oh. Oh, man. That felt great, honestly. I'm not going to complain about that. That felt a little too good, I'm not going to lie. I couldn't stay in there too long, though. But, we did it. And now that I'm here, there's nothing to worry about anymore. I feel great. I could probably sit out here all day and just dry off with the sun, too. I don't even need this towel. But, wow. yeah, such an amazing experience too. I don't know, something about it, man. Just getting in the cold water and then pushing through it. And you know, it sucks. You're in there, you're all by yourself, you against you, but just push through it, dude. So whatever you have to do in your life that's hard, something that you're pushing off, man, just get after it, dude. Just fucking go take care of it. No one's gonna take care of it for you, you know. Whew. And now, like, I was so worried, bro. I came down here wearing a jacket, all this a hat. Now I'm standing out here, wet, and I'm good. As crazy as that is, I'm good. So wow, this is just awesome. Just do something like this, guys. If there's something holding you back, or you're feeling lazy, or you just feel too comfortable, just get out and do anything. You know, it doesn't have to be this, but this is pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie to you. But one thing about life that just never gets easier is trying to put on socks when your feet are wet. That will forever be one of life's greatest challenges. Ah, jeez. We really need this. We need outside time. We need to feel uncomfortable, because now it's like everything's perfect now. Everything just feels great. Everything feels so much better. Yeah, life just feels good now. I don't even need a shirt. I keep saying that. I'm not even cold anymore. It's weird. I was colder walking down here, wearing all the layers, than I am right now, just being in the sun. Do uncomfortable shit.